Hey, what's up everyone at PokeMoshPit? I am Ace Star the Third, and thank you so much for watching. And today I'm going to bring you guys this awesome Ubers battle that against one of my friends, No Itchy Lover, and I really hope you guys enjoy this battle because this battle is epic and it has just cool things going on, and I hope you guys enjoy it. So basically, if you look at this team, it looks extremely similar to a team that you may have seen on Smogon, the Rate My Team featured Ubers team. The only thing about that particular team is it was very similar to a team I made, except only had like a few different Pokemon, and I had the idea that I could shift that team over to third generation because all the Pokemon except Giratina Origin are in third generation. So the only thing different is the Gengar. It's kind of similar to Giratina Origin. The fact that it has Will-O-Wisp and it's a ghost type with Levitate makes it kind of similar, except it's not nearly as defensive, but I thought it would work out, so I tried it out. If you look at this team, you see that there's double weather going on. A lot of people don't like double weather for some reason, but when you think about it, if you have a team that isn't really affected by either weather, I mean, which of these Pokemon aren't, the biggest thing that's affected is Jirachi because of the extra fire weakness or resistance that it may get from the rain or the sunshine, and the fact that it has fire punch and it may give it extra stab or weaken it. And everything else, I mean, Skarmory can't really take fire moves anyway, so it doesn't really matter. Latios resists both water and fire, so it helps and hinders it a little bit, and Gengar's just there. So this team has some really good synergy going on. I have my special walls, my defensive wall. Latios is kind of what fits this team together all together because it has moves like let's see, it has Thunderbolt and Hidden Power Fire and Dragon Claw, the best possible things it can have in order to destroy a lot of threats, and with Soldew it is really impossible to stop. So I hope you guys enjoy this battle. Like I said, it's going to be pretty epic. Be sure to stay tuned and let's go. Alright bro, are you ready for this? Because I certainly am. Oh my goodness. And some of these sprites are edited too, so I hope you guys like those. So anyway, he leads up with his Kyogre, I lead up with my Latios, and at this point I'm like, okay, I could stay in, go for something like Dragon Claw, predicting him to switch out into another Pokemon that can take Thunderbolts. Both of these Pokemon are really popular leads because Latios and Latios can go for Thunder or Thunderbolt on Kyogre and Ice Beam on Groudon and do extensive damage and or take it out, and then they will lose their weather-inducing Pokemon and then they can bring in their own, and then Kyogre and Groudon because of weather set are up here. So at that point I switched out into my Clefairy thinking that he wouldn't stay in anymore and I could go for a substitute, and he went out to the Blissey and I was like, yay, I can stay in and then not have to worry about him going for Thunder Wave. But then he has Thunder and I'm kind of like right now because I needed my substitutes in order to take out this Blissey because I have Focus Punch. And I know it's not going to kill it immediately because it's not stab, but I know it will do a lot of damage. So he predicts me to go into my Groudon, which was kind of obvious to me because I wasn't going to stay in and try to I wasn't going to stay in. I mean, there was no point of me staying in and trying to go for substitutes over and over again because I wouldn't do anything. So yeah, he predicts that, and I predict him to stay in and go for something like Ice because I thought he would predict me to go into Latios, which is a lot of predicting right there. So I had to go for a Thunder Wave, and it was pretty awesome because it worked out. And I went for a Rock Slide this turn, thinking that I might be able to flinch him or he might get the Para Hacks. And unfortunately, I get a crit. But even more unfortunate, I don't get the hacks. Well, I kind of did because of, you know, crit. But I mean, I guess that works out too because essentially I went for 2. I mean, when you factor in the damage and crit and everything. So yeah. Unfortunately, I should have went out into my Latios at this point, but I go into my Gengar, thinking that I can take him out with a physical spell tag boosted Shadow Ball, and it just doesn't work. I mean, so I'm kind of mad because Gengar really failed me this battle. I mean, and I'm never gonna use it in Ubers ever again because it's not even good. So okay, anyway, he goes out into his Skarmory, I go out into my Kyogre, and he goes for a switch into the Blissey, and at this point I go for a Water Spell on him, and I knew that, oh my goodness, I can't go into anything else because I don't want to take a Thunder because if I get paralyzed it's going to be all over. I don't know what I can do, so I just stay and go for another Water Spell, hope that I can kill it, and oh my goodness, the Pokemon Emerald data, I guess, calculated a critical hit, and now the Blissey is gone. I don't have to worry about it anymore. It's all good because I can go for special attacks and not have to worry about what to do anything besides this Latios right here that he's bringing in, because I know it has Soldu, and Kyogre has a lot of special defense too, but it is a more offensive variant as you saw earlier on, so I really don't have to worry about that thing walling any of my special attacks. So I go for a Thunder. Unfortunately, I got a crit and I got the paralyzation, but I was more hoping for the paralyzation so I could go for an Ice Beam and take him down to a lot, you know, lower point of health, and then I would be able to take him out and be faster than him. He got a pair of hacks, which was like those couple of turns on this Latios was extremely hacky, and unfortunately it's not really that awesome for him because he got taken out. But it's okay, I guess. So I'm like, yeah, Willy the Will, he's unstoppable. Yeah, ooh, Mewtwo, scary. He can go for a Thunderbolt, and then he doesn't. He just goes for a self-destruct, and I'm like, well, you know, that's great. I had fun, so you know, it's okay. So anyway, you know, Wills. So he goes out into his armory, and I stay in and go. I'm sorry, I switch into my Latios, and at this time, I'm sorry, I go for a Thunderbolt thinking that I could kill it. And no, because I have to invest into my special defense, and so does he, and I don't have to have maximum special attack, and stupid Skarmory wants to be stupid and live it with like a negative a billion HP, and I'm like, okay, that's cool, because he went for a Toxic, and that was just terrible, and so I don't know how that happened, but I'm gonna really have to re-EV this Latios right now. I mean, you know, once I get able to re-stab it, because I mean, I should have killed, and now I'm crippled and can't do much of anything. So, you know, it kind of sucks for me because I'm like at my limits now. There's nothing much I can really switch into now. His last two Pokemon happen to be Kyogre and Groudon, which is very significant because both those Pokemon, not only do they have really good synergy with being able to set up weather and switch out into the things that they, you know, are super effective to, and then the other one resisted with both these Pokemon. I mean, they're the icons of Pokemon Ruby and Sapphire, and I think it's pretty cool that they were the last Pokemon to stay in. So anyway, I was thinking that I could, you know, that Groudon could come in there and I wouldn't be able to, you know, he would be able to kill me. I could set up some spikes so that I could whirlwind his Pokemon out over and over and over again. But unfortunately, he has Sleep Talk and Water Spout. He got, and I die, and I'm like, okay, so I was pretty certain he had Thunder. Ooh, yeah, I was scared of Thunder, and he didn't even have it. And I'm like, okay, all this time I could have brought in my stupid Kyogre. So I'm like, okay, that's totally fine. I mean, you know, that I guess that's how this game works. So he go for a Water Spout. It does a lot of damage after I go for a Recover. Even with Soldu, because it's rainy, he hit Stab. I mean, 225 base power with just Stab, and then with Rain, I do believe it's like a lot. So yeah, I'm just gonna take a lot of damage from that. I think it's like 360, and then yeah. So I go out into my Shaniqua V2. I was predicting him to go for an Ice Beam because he knew that it would go for a Thunderbolt and then take him to the point where Water Spout wouldn't be able to kill me. And it kind of sucks because, you know, Shaniqua V2 takes a lot of damage from this Water Spout. It doesn't kill because I'm especially the defensive one. And I have max special defense and max HP, I do believe. And it sucks a lot. It really does, because I figured that I could stay in and survive a little bit more, but I didn't. So now at this point, I should have predicted this. I should have predicted this so hard at this point. I go for Protect. I see he goes out into his Groudon, and I'm like, okay, so why would he not go out into his Groudon? It makes no sense for him not to. So I'm like, okay. Now I was thinking, oh my goodness, this thing's Choice Banded because it didn't have leftovers earlier, right? Yeah, that's how you think. But no, he has Substitute, and I'm like, oh no, this thing has Salad Berry. And I'm like, oh, there's nothing I can do. So I'm like, what do I do? So I go for a Fire Punch. I mean, all frantic right now. I'm just making decisions, and I'm pacing back and forth. I'm all discombobulated about what to do because it's at the brinks right now. There's only a couple more turns left. Who's gonna win the battle? I don't know. So anyway, I go into my Gengar, go for a Shadow Ball at this point. I was predicting him to go for an Earthquake, but he didn't and just goes for Sub, and I'm like, okay, I'm just getting predicted all over the place. And I was thinking that if he went for an Earthquake, I could then go for a Will-O-Wisp because I have Will-O-Wisp and be able to take him out. So, I mean, not take him out, but be able to cripple him so that he wouldn't be able to do that much damage on either of my Pokemon. But, you know, with Shaniqua being almost dead, it's kind of like whatever. So anyway, he takes me out with a stupid Hidden Power Ghost, and stupid Gengar doesn't able to take, it's not even able to take out the stupid Substitute. It's just a fourth of the health, and I'm pretty sure he doesn't have max HP or defense. So Gengar is just not even cutting it. It's not acceptable. And I'm never using it ever again. So sorry Gengar, but you know, that's just how life works for you. I mean, you know, like, no. So at this point, he just stalls me and goes for a sword stance earlier at that point, and then he was faster, then he gets his Salic Berry up. So I'm about to get anally destroyed, unfortunately, because it's just what's gonna happen. Groudon just comes up to me and hits the earth, and floating Jirachi somehow gets hit and just dies. I mean, that's, oh. And Latios comes in here thinking, oh my god, I'm gonna save the day, and no, you're not. So yep, I get taken out with a hidden power ghost, and I get destroyed. Wow. So that was a really excellent game, No Ichi Lover. I mean, the ending was fabulous. It had action and drama and everything. Oh, it was just awesome. So I hope you guys really enjoyed that battle. I enjoyed narrating it because it was so amazing, and I am never going to use Gengar ever again. So be sure to like if you liked it, dislike if you disliked it, comment if you were cool, and subscribe if you haven't. No Ichi Lover does have a channel, but he doesn't like ever use it for anything. If I can find it, then I will be sure to check it out because it is pretty cool. So yeah, once again, I hope you guys really enjoyed this battle, and I hope you guys have a wonderful day, and happy holidays to everybody, since it's December and almost time for all of them holidays and break. Oh my goodness. And have a wonderful day once again, and I'll see you guys later. And be cool, be a star. Peace.